Okay, this is going to be our first video on YouTube, and I'm going to tell about the surprise of my life that I had going to a Spyder, because I haven't hated them all these years, but I always felt so sorry for everybody who rode Spyders. And we're up here in the mountains, and we're going to be taking the road we're off of the Wind River Road, and we're going to go up towards Mount St. Helens right now. And Terry was talking to me one time when I had her on this motorcycle. She's the lady that does my YouTube page. And I said, man, it'd be nice to share this with people, because I watch Coach Bob 3, and he gets really excited when he has a little curve in Florida. And I ride on curves the whole time. And so we're going to ride on this road here, and I'm going to talk about my experience with the Spyder. So I'll put my gloves on, and we will go to Mount St. Helens.
Yay.
Okay. Well, this is going to be real interesting to see if we actually make a film here today.
It will be fun, no matter what. It will be an adventure.
Yeah.
It already is an adventure.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Now there's a road back east somewhere, the Tail of the Dragon, I think it's called, and people go for hundreds and hundreds of miles to ride that Tail of the Dragon. And I don't know, this road here looks pretty straight right now, but this is kind of the average road that we have to go on in the Cascade Mountains in Washington, and this road here is extremely curvy. Are you on, Terry?
I am.
Yep, okay. This is Terry. She's the lady that does my YouTube page, and what a blessing that is to have that out there now. So I cannot believe this is the middle of winter. Is this July 14th or January 14th, I mean? Yeah.
Yes.
It's hard to believe, but
A little bit of snow.
yeah, now when we see this snow like this is going over a mountain pass, so we might not get around here. If it turns to ice, I'm not going to go, and so we'll see. This will be our favorite time. Anyhow, we'll see. Most of the time, this road here is normally closed at this time of year. I mean, it's totally snowed over. You can't get on it at all. So I don't know what it's going to look like when we get up here. But it's nice and sunny today. And anyhow, I have a Goldwing. You'll see probably pictures of that at the first of this. I've ridden Goldwings for years, some of the older models, 84 and 85, and then I finally ended up with a 98 or 99 was my last one before I got the 1800 Goldwing. And boy, I loved that 1800, and it was a bright red one. But I had a problem with it, and well, I'm going to tell on. It wasn't a mechanical problem. It was I'll have another video where I tell about the accident that I had trying to get into Glacier National Park. But anyhow, after that time, I recovered, and my son kept bugging me. He wanted me to get on a three-wheeler. Well, for many years, I've been riding with the Christian Motorcycle Club, and one of my best friends in the club that I was in he originally had a Goldwing, and then he switched it out for a Spyder. And I never said this to him, but I always felt so sorry for him to have to ride that three-wheeler, because how can you have any fun on a three-wheeler? I always thought if I had to have a three-wheeler, I'd probably just get a convertible and put the top down or something like that, because you couldn't have any fun on a three-wheeler. And that's the way I was for years. And then when I got into the Vancouver Christian Motorcycle Association Club, we had 3 or 4 guys that rode rode the three-wheelers. I remember one time one of the chaplains who rode a three-wheeler called me up and said, we're going for a ride, and it was in winter too, about 3 or 4 years ago. He said, would you like to go with us? And it was on a Wednesday, and so I met him, and he was a chaplain of the Spyder Riders Club, and that it was all Spyder riders, and I had my Goldwing, so I went with about 8 Spyder riders and rode with my Goldwing, and that was kind of interesting. But I still felt so sorry for them because they couldn't counter steer, and they didn't have the feeling of the motorcycle. So anyhow, he called me up, my son called me up here a couple, 2-3 months ago and said, Dad, I found a really good deal on a Spyder, and I don't remember what year it was, and it was in Longview, which is about 60 miles away, and it looked like a pretty good deal. I really had no idea what they cost, but it was cheap enough. I thought, well, I could buy the same thing and I think it was like $7,000 or something like that. And I said, I can buy the thing and keep it in my garage, and it'll make my son happy, and I'll just stay on my Goldwing. So I called the guy and talked to him, and it sounded like a pretty good one. He'd done some restoring on it, whatever. And he said he had 2 guys coming to look at it tonight, and I think that was on a Wednesday. And if we can call you tomorrow if it's still available. So anyhow, I got in touch with him the next day, and he said they bought, or one of them bought the Spyder, so he doesn't have it anymore. So I thought, oh, well, that's good. I got out of that. and then I just started looking at some of the ads for Spyders, and I decided if I bought one, I would buy a newer one, because I didn't want to have to buy something that you have to work on all the time. I'm so spoiled with the Goldwing 1800. You basically polish them and change the oil when it's time, and once every 30 or 40,000 miles you have to clean the air cleaner, and probably once every 50,000 miles you have to replace the oil in the rear differential. But outside of that, you just don't. I mean, I've ridden since I've lived over 70 years. I'm 85 years old now, and I started riding before I was 16. And always, the motorcycle riding was motorcycle riding, and then you get home and then you work on it to fix up the things that were wrong with it, the leaks and everything like that. And that was the way I did that. And when I finally started riding I had some problems with the older Goldwings that I had, because they were really old. They all had over 100,000 miles on it. The last one I had 170,000 miles on it. It had some problems. Not a whole lot, but anyhow, it did have problems. So when I got the 1800, my first 1800, I bought it from a pastor, and it was a 2001, which was the first year they made 1800s, and it was just mint condition. I think it had 30,000 miles on it, but it was just absolutely like a brand new motorcycle. And so I started riding that, and I absolutely got so spoiled, because you just polish them and change the oil, and that's all. And once in a while the tires. So I actually got tired of changing tires. The last set of tires I had on it only lasted 8,000 miles, and I had to change all of them. And actually, I think it was the back tire had gone clear down to the threads. We had taken a ride out to the ocean, and because it's hard for me to get down and look at the tires, I had a young man get down. He said, yeah, you're in really trouble. It looks like this tire's about ready to pop. There's threads all around it. So I stopped my ride and rode home, and I got home. And then I decided to go dark side for the Goldwing. I can talk about dark side later, but I put a car tire on the back of the Goldwing, and I took the biggest rear tire I could get on the front and reversed the tread on it, and I loved that. Anyhow, so I started looking at some of these Spyders and seeing some, and then I just lost my camera, and I'll have to just stop. down here somewhere.
Right up here, it's
Yeah, I see it. And there's a lot more snow here, so I don't know. Although there's no...
It looks bigger than it is.
Okay, now I have to put the brake on. And fortunately I have this thing on a fishing line, so I didn't lose my camera, and it's still filming. So okay, let's see if I can get this thing on again. Let's see, I have to go this way.
Then you have that fishing line.
Yeah. All right. Now, that fishing line was a smart thing to do, Bill.
Yeah. I told you you're real smart. You're always smart.
Okay. Now. Okay. It's up there, and I guess it's hung on, and I guess hopefully my camera in the front here is still going. So we're going to continue go, but the snow is getting worse, so we'll see what happens here. Praise Paradise Campground. I'll bet you we can't even get into where there's a overlook that I like to go to up here, and after we get through this pass here, and it's just right, it'll look right at Mount St. Helens, and there'll be a big ice cream cone now because with the snow, but I'm going to be really surprised if we can get in there, because I don't think they take snow plows and plow that off in the winter time. In fact, generally in the wintertime at this time of year, that whole highway is closed up. Anyhow, well, I'll try to finish my story before we have to stop. I was looking at different ones, and I saw one in Camas, Washington, right? Well, that's below. I live up in the mountains in a place called Bear Prairie, but it's about where it was located. It was about 12 or 13 miles down to Camas and down the Washougal River, and so I called the lady up, and she said I could come and look at it, and she said, I said, how many miles has it? And she said, it's got about 5,700 miles. Well, it was 3 years old, and 5,700 miles, man, that's not very much. And so I went to look at it, and it was like a brand new right out of the showroom floor. I mean, in fact, later on after I bought it, I took some of the panels off so I could do some wiring. She had never ridden in the rain. She had never ridden the thing off of on gravel. She always, in the wintertime, she would just put it in a garage and cover it up with a cover. And the first 2 years she had it, she didn't put a charger on her battery, so when the springtime would come and she wanted to ride again, her battery would be gone, so she had to she put 2 new batteries in it since she bought it. But anyhow, so I'd never even I sat on one time, but I'd never even driven it, and she had it kind of in the back of her house, and there was a big driveway there that serviced 2 or 3 other houses, and so I got on it. She told me how to start it and how to run it, and I rode it at about 2 to 5 miles an hour at the most, just out her driveway, out to the street. I did a 90-degree U-turn, or 160 actually, and came back in and parked it and got off of it. And I said, well, I'm still looking at a couple other places, and so thank you for seeing it. And I left, and then the other ones that I was interested in were like 200 miles away in 2 different directions, and I decided, well, there's no way they could be in better shape than this one here. And so I called her back up and asked if she would take a certain price, and she said it was really hard because she'd cut down the price before I saw the ad, and I was going about $1,500 what she was asking for. And so she finally said okay. So I went down to pick it up, and I drove down in my car, and I had my little service dog with me, and I had his carrier on it. And I had tried the carrier on it when I had got on it the first time, and I realized the carrier that I had custom made for my Goldwing fit on the Spyder even better than on the Goldwing. So now here's some of the corners here. For the rest of the way here, I think it's going to be like this, just corner after corner after corner, and I could go faster, except I'm talking and I'm concentrating on this wonderful story I'm telling you. I'm so enamored with it, I just can't believe what I'm saying. Anyhow, so I went down to pick it up, and I was actually going to have her drive it home, and then I would follow her, and then I could take her back to her place. And I decided, well, I can put up with driving the thing back to my house. It's probably not that hard to drive. And I thought, I'll grit my teeth and suffer the driving a Spyder. And so I got on the thing, and Joey was on the back, and I started riding it, and started getting on the river road where there's more curves and stuff like that. And the smile kept getting bigger on my face. By the time I got home, I had a huge smile on my face, and I thought, I cannot believe this. This is so much fun. And to make a long story short, or whatever, I bought it on the 9th of November, and I've got something over 2,000 miles on it now. And this is the winter time. It's been raining and other things like that, but I ride it anytime I get a chance. I try to go to church on it. When I go to church, the pastor said I can bring my dog in, so he sits with me in the church in the back row. And I've been taking rides anytime I get a chance to go to town or go to Costco or anything like that. I'm on the motorcycle or on the Spyder, and I have had more fun. And it takes when you get past 60, they say, and even as hard as you work at it, and I did work on it, you start losing strength. I remember when I was 70 years old, I stopped at my 70th birthday. Well, just before that, I had stopped riding my dirt bike. I was riding my dirt bike all the time. In fact, out of my driveway, I can go. It used to be 150 miles of trail, but the Forest Service cut down a lot of the places to get into. But I continued to ride my dirt bike, and at 70 years old, I thought, you know, this is too dangerous for me. I didn't have the balance, and the trails up where I rode were not just nice, beautiful little paths. They were really mountain-type trails that you had to be skillful on, had a lot of balance and a lot of skill to ride them. So I traded in I didn't trade my motorcycle in, but my dirt bike, I actually sold it. But I bought a quad, and I bought a Can-Am 400 Outback, or whatever the name was. And I thought, this is going to be so safe. You know, all the years I rode dirt bikes, I had one bad spill. I was on a ATK, which is made up in Canada. They don't make them anymore. And it had a kickstand, and I was trying to keep up with my son. We were up by McClellan in the Cascade Mountains, and I went over this high jump, and somehow or other the spring had fallen off, or come off the kickstand, and the kickstand was allowed to drag on the back with a lot of rocks on it. I went straight down on my chest, knocked myself out, knocked the wind. When I woke up, the wind was still knocked out of me, and my front chest hurt so bad. It was just amazing. I just anyhow, I got home to California. We lived in California at the time, and I went to a bone doctor. I can't remember what the name of the bone, what they call them, but they work on your bones. And he checked me out, and on the front because I said I hit my chest, and he said, no, you got bruises and stuff all over your chest, but you don't have any broken bones. So I went home and I was still in agony, and they had a chiropractor in our church, so I called him up and got a appointment with him. And the first thing the chiropractors do is take a picture of your backbone. And he said, well, I know why you're in pain, and he showed me the picture, and 2 of my ribs in the back were broken completely in 2, and the bone doctor didn't even find that. So that was the only real spill that had ever hurt me, besides skin up my knees or something like that in the motorcycle. But I thought the quads were going to be so safe. But in the years I rode quads, I had people, one guy, a young guy that I was mentoring, he's about 20 years old, I took him up to Silver Star Mountain, and we couldn't get all the way up because of the snow coming down across the trail, and we had to turn around and come back, and there was this one ice field that I had to go across. It was about, actually the trail we was on was an old logging road, really. It was about 8 feet wide, and but there was this really skiddy place, and oh wow, ice. You can't. I was riding like a motorcycle, and you can't do that. I had my back wheel going on that ice place, and my motorcycle was going all over the place. So I'm going to have to be careful. I don't think we're going to get too much farther here. Anyhow, I'll finish my story. So I thought quads were great, but I took him up there, and he got panicked coming across the ice field, and he started wishing back and forth, and he was watching me instead of watching where he wanted to go, and he hit me full bore, rolled me over, came over the top of me, and I got internal injuries. I had to go to the hospital with internal. I bet that's it. Let's turn around if we can. I think that's where we want to go, and it looked like it's. I got so busy talking, I wasn't thinking. Okay, there's nobody behind me, so I can go here. Now, let's.
I'll watch this first.
Okay. I'd have a hard time doing this on my Goldwing, especially with the ice. But I think this is where I'm heading for. What does it say? I think... Oh, let's see. I think this is it, but they got it... I'm surprised we got up this far. I think this is it. There's no way on earth I would take my Goldwing down on this road right now. Maybe it isn't. I don't remember any road turning off here like this. Anyhow. If this is not it, we're not going to get there. This is the end of this. The panic that I had with new riders is they couldn't figure out how to do that thumb throttle, and they're panicked, and they left the throttle down no matter what they did. I had people climb trees, climb cliffs. My brother-in-law climbed a cliff and threw the thing over the top of him. Fortunately, it didn't come down on him, and it was. I had that a lot with new riders that I took out. Also, I broke my back when a 600-pound 700 Yamaha Grizzly threw me off a steep hill and then came right down on top of me and broke my back in 2 places, knocked me out, and it was quite an extensive thing to get me out of there. And then I had to ride 10 miles back on that quad with the broken back in 2 places. I didn't know it was broken, but it was so painful. And my wife had to drive me into the hospital. They were going to call a helicopter, but I said I could make it. But she was so worried about me that she started having a stroke, and I didn't know it. And she finally got me to the hospital, and 10 people were taking care of me right away, and she sat in the waiting room of the emergency having a stroke. If we had only known. Okay. Yeah, see, it's as dry as can be. Wonderful. Haha. That's 26 miles. Boy, I wish I could get my GPS on and see if that. Does this scare you, Terry?
No.
Okay.
I trust you, but I wouldn't want to drive it.
Well, we're only going 14 miles an hour, so I don't think it's going to... And I haven't seen any place I can't get out of yet, so...
Somehow you're off. I'm not hearing you. I'm hearing you over the air. So I don't know.
I keep saying, just around the corner, just around the corner. I've got a Jeep.
Pass, right?
What?
We're going down.
Yeah, I know. We got to get back up that one.
Can you hear me?
Hi? No.
I can.
You're off. You got your microphone in front of you?
Yeah, everything's fine. I can't hear you either.
Oh. Huh.
I just hear you over the air.
You were on just a few minutes ago.
Yeah, I know.
Look at here, brand new highway.
Okay.
Well,
Sun. We got good sun.
now you're back on. What did
I
you?
didn't do anything. No.
I wonder why it went off. Huh? It's not supposed to have to worry about Wi-Fi or anything like that. It's
You're right.
it's not even Bluetooth. It's DCM or whatever it is that we're talking on. And well, look at this. I don't think there's going to be any problem here, but I'm not going to go 50. I'm not going to go 50 miles an hour.
I hope not. That's why I'm riding with you. Better
Yeah.
than that.
Yeah. Boy, that was a weird feeling when I was riding. I was trying to straddle that
Yeah.
thing, you know, and all of a sudden that back wheel started just moving. Yeah, I always remember the front wheel because I see those, but the back wheel's in the center. So if you try to, there's a pothole or something like that, and you go in the center of it, you're going to hit it with your back wheel. Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of no good path.
Not a lot of traffic on this. Wonderful road.
No.
Well, I wasn't even paying attention to the road much when I was telling my big story.
Sun feels good, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it's not so real. I should be able to see what temperature is up here, but it's 40 something. 41. That's not too bad for up in the mountain.
No.
I thought I saw a car coming, but it wasn't. Oh, look, I think we're getting to our place here.
Wow.
I think.
The Intrepid Explorer.
Yeah. I think we made it.
Well, you had faith and hope.
Okay. Mount St. Helens.
8K.
That's... Huh.
Windy Ridge.
Yeah. I think this is the road we have to take, but this isn't the way that gets into the... Oh, I saw Mount St. Helens. So we're getting close to that turnoff. I think we're going to make it, unless they don't have any snow shoveled out. 8 K's, 24 minute. Windy Ridge is 52. It looks like that's where you turn in, and it doesn't look like it's shoveled off.
Sure does.
Road conditions, open. No, I thought that was it. Yeah, that was the entrance, but it's not.
No.
So... I think that might be it, but we're not going to go in there.
No.
There should have been a sign there. Huh. Well.
Let's see. Let's go.
Yep.
It's a nice road, nice clear.
I think we might just keep going on and around this way instead of going back that way. Because it's only going to get down lower here. We're on the mountain here, so it's going to be coming down.
It's nice to have a little bit of adventure on your first outing.
Yeah.
A little surprise now and then. Yeah.
Well, we got to see what it does in the ice.
Yeah.
And that was pretty much, a lot of it was ice we were on.
Yeah.
And looks like we just gone down enough so that it's not icy anymore on the road. Boy, I hope we didn't miss that. That is really a spectacular sight of Mount St. Helens.
If we did, we'll do it again.
Yeah, right? in the summertime. I'm so surprised this road is open. It's never open at this time.
The Lord wanted to give us a big outing.
And when we get here between here and Cougar, at least the last time I was up here, the road is really rough. There's a lot of potholes on it, but we'll be able to handle that.
You'll be able to handle that.
Yep.
I got my veteran driver here.
Yep. You think 85 years is long enough?
Yeah. He's still got a few more good years in him.
I'm praying for that.
More than a few, Lord.
Yeah.
My dad was in pretty good shape up till he was 97.
Oh boy. Well, I think
98.
I think this Spyder is going to help me keep me a little young if I can continue my exercises. I'm working on my legs and my toes and my feet so that they get stronger and I have better balance. And then I have to do the dizzy thing. I'm doing that some, but not as much as I should. Well, look at this highway, see?
Yeah, look at there.
I'm sure glad. Go ahead.
Do you think somebody plowed this today?
No, not today. It hasn't snowed for a while here.
Because that's why it's so clear?
Yeah.
It's in really good shape.
Looks like they sled down that hill.
Beautiful in here, isn't it?
Yep, this is a...
With the snow.
Yeah.
The snow lights it up so you can see deeper into there.
This has always been a nice trip. I've been up here when there's been snow on the thing,
Yeah.
but not any time in January like this. It was earlier, and in the spring, I don't know. It takes a while before they'll let you go on this road. But maybe if we don't get snow, we're gonna be in real trouble without snow on the mountains for. I guess Bob Becken said some of the ski reports are going to go bankrupt because. Oh, look at there!
Look at there!
There it is, and I don't want to. Let's just maybe take a picture from here. I don't want to go in there, so.
You want me to?
Not yet. Just a minute.
Well, you can just turn your head.
Yeah. I don't see Mount St. Helens. Oh, let's see.
It's beautiful.
Where's Mount St. Helens?
Oh, there it is. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
There we go.
There.
Now, can you get off and take a picture of that?
You take it from here, but turn your helmet towards them so we can
Just a minute.
get that stuff. Let me get my...
I don't know if it's taking it or not.
Here we go.
If you can get off and get back here on the other side of the road and take a picture of that with your telephoto on and get a little bit of the
Okay, all right.
quad in it.
Okay. It doesn't look slick.
Can you get off?
Just a minute. Gotta put my phone in my front pocket.
I knew it was here,
It
but
was here.
But it's nothing. I'm not going to try to go in with that one wheel. We'd get really stuck easy. The view you're seeing of the mountain is what you kind of see when you get out there to the end of the driveway. You're just sitting looking down on it, and then of course my GoPro camera doesn't show it that way because it's got a wide screen on it, but that's kind of what you see when you're there. And it's 1,600 feet back in 1990 or 1980 was blown off the top of that mountain, and hundreds of miles of forest were just completely, the trees were all branched, the branches were all blown off the trees, and they were all going away from the explosion of the mountain. It's amazing when you see those pictures. And the entrance to this lookout has about 14 inches of snow, and I know in spite of the ice I've been over today, I would be helplessly stuck if I tried to get in there. We did continue on this trip another 80 miles around to the top of Vancouver and Amboy and then Battleground and then into Vancouver. It was a beautiful, beautiful ride, but it'd make it too long on this video. So I'll be making more videos with my 2022 Spyder RTL. But I have 14 albums of great music and wonderful music, and we're going to share many more miracle stories with some of the songs on our albums. And I hope you subscribe and enjoy these stories and these songs.